So what are you working on today, Leon?
Cocaine. You know how many bad boys you can fit in this? 2.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, what?
Why does anyone do anything?
Well, it was a whole lot easier to access this part, right? What? We need an Andrew cam so we can see Andrew reactions.
They're not good. They're whatever the people at home are thinking.
What the fuck is this moron doing? Kobe. Oh, right in your LS4. What?
Oh man, I didn't even look at that thing yet. Oh, we're still gonna remove the rest of this?
Yeah, might as well. I'm not like Andrew. I don't like doing half a job. It's gonna happen. I will purchase the Andrew cam.
You have one. It's right over there.
Yeah, Andrew cam.
It's just disappointment in video form.
Yeah.
On this episode of Leon's Garage Adventures, turbo stuff.
What stuff?
So Leon, it looks like you've been busy again without us.
Well, somebody has a job.
So, yeah, it looks like you put both manifolds on and you made 800 pie cuts to make a really tight bend. You're using all stainless steel tubing.
See?
Running up into a 2.5 collector to a monster turbo.
Yep.
I don't know the size, but it's big.
It's a 472.
Big block.
It's a 72 millimeter. Small.
Okay.
It's small.
Thick.
She's just big looking. She's just big boned.
You're right. She's just big skinned. The pipe that runs underneath from the other side of the exhaust needs to be able to come up and mate into the collector.
Collector.
I always say it like that. Skeletor. So there's our collector. Then you can see the one side already done. And then basically it has to go from here up to this side. But it's hard to judge this in the 2D world. It basically has to come out, do an immediate 90, and then kind of bend in a little bit, and then mate up to here. So basically, I guess Andrew's gonna do a whole bunch of pie cuts. Yeah.
There's the front header. And the tank is in.
Did you ever get the Y return or the Y feed? All right.
I'm collecting fittings.
Yeah, if anybody wants to donate some fittings, go ahead and reach out to P.O. Box. We don't have one, sorry. Message us if you want to give us some free AN fittings. We could really use them for a lot of projects. Or, if somebody would like to sponsor us with some AN fittings, we'll give a shout out or give you some money probably, because normal people pay for stuff.
We're not famous, so we gotta pay.
Ain't that how it always is?
Yep.
All right, let's cut some to it.
Okay.
Mmm.
That's more like it.
Pie Cut City.
Rack City, bitch. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Oh. I need one more hand.
Yes. I thought you weren't going to put the clamp right in the middle there.
You're the one that drew the mark.
You told me to put it there.
Oh well. Blame me for everything, honey.
Alright.
There's my shitty ass weld. Alright, let's throw it on.
Wow.
That's actually we're talking because we're filming, right?
Boy, there is not a lot of room there.
What do you mean? There's so much room? We've got all the room in the world right
It's
now.
thick with room.
So we installed our 90 piece. Now we're gonna come up, do a little tilty boy action like this, and then tilty boy action like that. We'll be done. Good thing Andrew's here because he did most of the work. So we're not actually gonna use any of those pie cuts.
Please, for God's sake.
I like any reactions out of you.
No, please, God, no.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
That's
The piece you could have used the entire time.
Where'd this come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. This video is sponsored by Sequence Manufacturing. Just kidding, I paid $300 for this piece of shit. Works good though, I ain't gonna lie. Sweet nectar. Sweet, sweet lemonade. I could... Man, I tightened it too much. I grab that other piece, grab the jig piece.
The what?
The little piece that came out of the jig. Yeah. Okay, I'll just go back.
The piece that's left in the jig?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the piece that came out of the jig.
It would come out of the jig if you grabbed it out of the house. That's what I meant. X gonna motherfucking give it to ya.
You know what time it is?
It's business. It's business time.
You best know what time it is when I start taking my socks off.
Whew. Can't be talking about taking your socks off.
Nobody knows what it means.
But it's profound. Oh! Get old.
You're getting some old.
Hey, see if you can find some blue tin.
Got it. Stainless.
Magnetic stainless.
You can, if you get it from China.
Oh my.
I like these sweeping bends though, I'll tell you what.
Are you telling me what?
I'll tell you what a really, really what.
Amazing. Thanks, buddy. Made it myself.
It's super pretty.
Thanks, man.
That just happens to line up perfectly. Huh. Huh. A couple pie cuts away.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, do a pie cut.
A few short minutes later, why don't you go ahead and take it out?
Short minutes later, it's like been 3 hours.
Whatever.
Couple bendy boys. Andrew's hard work.
Pie cuts.
Yeah.
The only thing left to do now is weld it up completely there and then, well, basically tack it in place while it's up here so that everything lines up with the collector properly. Good looking collector stuff. It looks good seeing both of them as I talk over this beauty shot. But it's neat because you can see the two middle runners. So it just looks like a bundle of snakes. That's going to be the new look of the bay. Looks good.
We don't have the intake bolted on yet, but we have fuel rails and they're bolted onto the intake. We have the water pump mounted, windshields in, AC lines are almost complete besides that one last one that goes between the engine and the other AC line. You gotta go from there to the compressor. And you wanna hit the gas? Woo. Look at that.
All we gotta do is tack up the collector.
All we have to do is tack up the collector. This should be fun because I can't see anything. Tell me if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
No
Okay.
ground. Did you ground to the plastic body?
No, I didn't turn the machine on.
Oh, that's a good reason. And I see the ground right there, like, I'm not any better for asking that. This one?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, wait, it is on. Are we not plugged in?
Nope.
I can't see
Anything. Yeah, I was just wondering, do you want people to follow you on Instagram?
I don't care. If they want to. Sure, everybody follow me on Instagram. The Crazy Hyundai Guy. You thought I was in it, really? What is it?
I don't know what your Instagram is.
It's On Point? Oh, yeah, it's the real On Point Fabrication. Because I tried to use On Point Fabrication and some other schmuck had that name, right? Literally just steals pictures of other people's fabrication work and puts it on his page. So I'm like, this guy.
Right, you can get much more up-to-date stuff very quickly. Like literally the moment it's done.
Probably months before you see it in
Video form. It's like being a Patreon, whatever they call them, a patron.
Patron.
Except you don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we can loosen up the clamp, take the collector off, and weld it up all the way around.
Okay.
You might not care, but I think it looks pretty good.
Well, thanks, buddy. That's a weird ass looking piece.
Yeah, but it fits. Well, it used to.
Well, hopefully none of that fell down in there. Oh my gosh. The weight of this turbo is too damn high. I need a crane.
I can't believe you did the crazy Hyundai guy. I hate that commercial so much.
Oh, do you?
It's me, the crazy Hyundai. I just changed the station. I don't care what I listen to. It can be folk metal. Honestly, I'm more interested to see how the exhaust for this turns out than the cold pipe going into the intake.
Is it now? You still filming?
Yes.
Everybody's gonna see my butthole here in a second.
Okay, let's just... I panned away at just the right time. Well, I'm very interested to find out if you're actually going to put a hood prop or struts, or if you're going to weld together all those old license plates that you had from before. Don't tell me they went to Mr. Scraps.
This company, Penox, makes a strut kit. And I believe it goes from like here to question mark somewhere here. And it
I mean, literally any rod and latch would also work.
yeah. But it's like the whole kit, like with the struts and everything, I think it's like $100 or something. So it's like
Or
a block of wood. What the heck?
could make a really nice block of wood.
A very trimmed piece of block of wood. In Mike's car, we have half of a fishing pole that snapped that we use in the.
Is this something that Fiero people do?
I don't know.
How do they normally get held up?
Let us know in the comments.
Leon went ahead and welded up the wastegates.
Wow.
He says dual 38s?
40s.
Oh, 40s. So, that'll be pretty cool if you're driving around without a bumper on, so people know what's up. The whole shebang.
Y'all ever been to jail?
You wanna?
So I have this fancy tight radius bend, and I'm going to, I would like to put it in the stock location. And if you check it out, what we can do is come straight up with a 90 through here, and then we're probably gonna end up doing a couple little pie cuts to merge them together. It up so I don't have to have myself in the way, but either way. All right, so we took our two 90s and we cut them right at the bends, and it actually turned out perfect for the distance from the cutout to right here. And we're just gonna make a couple of pie cuts to connect the two. So what we did was we made a couple pie cuts, right? And what we did was every pie cut we went off about 1/4 of an inch. Instead of making it just a 90, we wanted to make like a spiraling effect so that we could go over and we could go down at the same time. So we stopped, obviously, right here. And what we're gonna do now is test fit our exhaust, and it's probably gonna be a little bit long, and we'll see how much we have to cut off, and then we'll mark it so we can put it in place. Right about there.
A little more. Now it's straight.
That much.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Cool. So we're going to drop that on the ground, and then we're gonna weld these up completely because they might move around a little bit or whatnot. There's a lot of pie cuts. And then we're gonna come back to that and cut it to length because we don't wanna cut it and then go to welding and it's all weird. So if we need to modify how that is after, then we'll do that before we cut that pipe.
So with the new elbow out of the car, you can see how the curve works, how he was trying to explain it. And basically, it's curving in two directions at the same time, which allows us to make such tight bends. What?
I'm over here, right? And I'm trying to be all quiet, you know? I'm like, crack, crack. My ankles are being so loud. I'm like, calm down, we're trying to be quiet. Filming.
Leon got everything all welded up and did a nice little indicator so that he knows
Where the top is.
that way the bottom is perfectly flat, as all things should be. The piece that will go underneath the bumper has been tacked in place. And essentially, it's gonna look like that. You can see it sticking out just past the rear bumper, which is great. That way we don't get a lot of soot buildup or melty boys from the rear bumper.
I like it.
Now it's time to pull it all off, tack everything up, and do the final weld. But where?
I'm just kidding. I'll probably put it down here.
Dab City.
Dab City, bitch.
Woo!
That's a huge exhaust right there, boy.
It looks amazing.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm trying to film a closeout, and you're doing it for the Instagram.
Yeah, boy, that shit looks sick. Wow! Damn!
Well, you want to put the bumper back on? Wow. You actually care about this thing?
No, but it looks better. Here we go. Cut! Alright, everybody. That is the exhaust from start to finish. Or do I have to say? We don't have to say that because they know. They watched it. That sucks.
Stock!